What if I told you that right now, as you're watching this, there's a silent thief quietly working against your financial future? It's not inflation. It's not taxes. It's not even the economy. It's what you don't do. Most everyday people are leaving a fortune on the table, hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars, simply because they don't understand one fundamental concept. The stock market has averaged about 10% returns per year for nearly a century. Think about that. Your money potentially growing by 10% every single year just by being in the right place. The problem is, most people never even start. Why? Fear, confusion, the belief that it's only for the rich. But what if I told you that's a myth? What if I told you a janitor used the system to build an $8 million fortune by the time they retired? The stock market is not a casino, but as your greatest ally in building real wealth. First, let's understand what a stock really is. Think of it like this. The owner of your favorite local coffee shop wants to open 10 more locations across the city. She needs money. So she asks you if you would like to give her some money, say $100, and in exchange, she lets you own 50% of the business. Future profits get split 50-50 between her and yourself. This is called investing. To make this all legal, she writes up 2 pieces of paper saying coffee shop share, then goes to the business registry, declares these as certificates of ownership of the coffee shop business. The registry stamps it and recognizes these certificates as shares or stocks of the business. The 2 words are kinda used interchangeably. Then the owner gives you one of the 2 certificates. You now own 1 share of this company's stock. You become a shareholder. And because there are only 2 shares in existence, you basically own 50% of the company. If the company does well, it becomes more valuable, and so do your shares of the company. If the coffee shop goes viral and makes a lot of money, they can decide to pay out some of the profits to its shareholders. This is called a dividend, a reward for being a shareholder. The coffee shop might also want to raise another $100 for another expansion. So the owner writes another certificate, gets it stamped, and gives it to another investor. Now there are 3 shares in existence, and each of you own 33% of the company. So did your shares suddenly lose value? Technically no. While you own less of the company now, that 33% is now worth more. Because the company just got $100 more from that third investor. And because you were a part owner of the company, part of that $100 belongs to you. And here's where it gets interesting. After a year, the coffee shop business has grown very well. You can sell your share to your friend or neighbor for $150. They shake your hand, and your original $100 investment just turned into $150. You've just secured a 50% return on your money. The stock market is just the place where all investors gather to buy and sell shares of different companies. It used to be a physical building, but in 2026, it's done over the internet. A global network of buyers and sellers on a platform, like Temu or Amazon or eBay. These platforms are called stock exchanges, like the New York Stock Exchange or the Nasdaq. Billions of dollars change hands every single day. The question that trips everyone up, how much to pay for a stock? If a stock is just a piece of a company, how do we know what it's worth? This is where most people get it wrong. A stock's price isn't some magical number calculated by geniuses in suits. It's determined by one simple thing: supply and demand. When more people want to buy a stock than sell it, the price goes up. When more people want to sell than buy, the price goes down. It's literally just an auction. But here's the catch. Why do people want to buy or sell? This is where things get emotional. People buy because they think the company's future is bright. They sell because they're scared. Maybe the economy looks shaky. Maybe the news is bad. Maybe they just saw a tweet from someone who sounded smart. And this is what makes the stock market so wild. It's not just about the numbers. It's about people, their hopes, their fears, their greed, and their panic. There is even a well-known indicator used by big hedge funds on Wall Street, the Fear and Greed Index. The stock market is a giant mirror reflecting human emotion, and emotions drive the stock market up and down. Which brings us to the roller coaster that makes everyone panic. The stock market has averaged about 10% returns per year over the long run. Sounds great, right? Steady growth, easy money. But that's not what it actually looks like. The reality is a roller coaster. In 2008, the market crashed nearly 40%. In 2020, it dropped 34% in weeks. In 2025 alone, the S&P 500 dropped 19% from its peak in just a few days. And every single time people panic, they sell, they swear off stocks forever. Then the market recovers, and those same people watch from the sidelines as it climbs to new highs. Here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. The stock market has gone up, in about 40 out of the last 50 years. The ups outnumber the downs dramatically, but our brains aren't wired to see that. We feel the downs much more intensely than the ups, and that's the trap. That is why most people lose. You might have heard of the S&P 500 index. It basically is an indicator tracking the biggest 500 companies that are traded in the US stock market. Data from JP Morgan revealed that the S&P 500 returned an average of 7.1% per year, but the average investor made just 2.6% per year. That's a gap of over 4% every single year for 20 years. Over 2 decades, that gap can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what are these investors doing wrong? They buy when prices are high because they're excited. They sell when prices are low because they're scared. They're not investing, they're reacting. And here's the brutal truth. Most of your financial success in the stock market doesn't come from picking the right stocks. It comes from one thing: staying in the game. The people who win are the ones who don't panic, the ones who keep buying month after month, year after year, through the crashes, through the recoveries, through all of it. Remember that 10% average return? You only get it if you stay. The cost of waiting is bigger than you think. Even with this shield of patience, many people still hesitate. They wait for the perfect moment. They think they need a huge sum to start. And that, my friends, is another trap. Let me introduce you to the quiet killer of wealth, the cost of waiting. Every year you delay, you're not just losing a year of potential growth. You're losing the power of compound interest. Einstein reportedly called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it. Here's what that looks like in real numbers. Start with just $100 a month at age 25. At that 10% average return, you could have over $630,000 by age 65. But wait just 10 years, start at 35 instead. And that same $100 a month leaves you with only $227,000 by age 65. That's a $400,000 difference just for waiting a decade. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. The same applies to investing. The biggest hurdle isn't market volatility. It's often our own procrastination. And to prove I am not talking gibberish, just look at the success story of the janitor who became a millionaire. Let me tell you about Ronald Reed. Ronald was a janitor and gas station attendant from Vermont. He never earned a huge salary. He lived frugally, drove a beat-up car, clipped coupons, even used safety pins to hold his clothes together. When he died at 92 in 2014, he left behind an $8 million fortune. How? Not by picking hot stocks or timing the market. He simply invested consistently in a diversified portfolio of blue-chip stocks. Companies he understood, held them for decades, and let compound interest do its magic. He was the ultimate buy-and-hold investor. His family had no idea. He left most of it to his local library and hospital. Ronald's story isn't about luck. It's about discipline, patience, and understanding the fundamental principles of the stock market. He proved that anyone, regardless of their starting point, can build substantial wealth. And your first step is easier than you think. So how do you actually start? Before we go into this, I need to remind everyone watching that this video is not financial advice. While I can share what I know or think about investing, I might be wrong too. So please do your own research too, and perhaps seek out a licensed financial advisor to help you on your investing journey. Anyway, the first thing you'd need is to access the stock market. This can be done by opening a brokerage account. Robinhood, Fidelity, Vanguard, take your pick. It takes 10 minutes. Step 2, do some research on some companies, ones that you think will do well, like the local coffee shop business example we discussed at the start of this video. Or buy a fund that tracks the entire market, like the S&P 500 Exchange Traded Fund, also known as an ETF. These are baskets of hundreds of stocks, instant diversification. Every dollar you buy in this fund gets split among the hundreds of stocks the ETF owns. And step 3, set it and forget it. Add money every month. Don't check it every day. Don't panic when it drops. That's it. That's the secret that Wall Street doesn't want you to know. They make it seem complicated because they want you to pay them for advice. But the evidence is clear. The simplest strategy, buy the whole market and hold, beats most professional investors over the long term. The stock market isn't a casino. It's not a mystery. It's a tool. A janitor proved that, and now you know how to use it too. That's all for this video. I'll be experimenting with a new series to see how many are interested in videos like this one. If you are, please drop a comment on what you want to know more about in the next episode. I'll try my best to explain it. If you found this helpful, consider dropping a like and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching.